Hi, everyone. Welcome so much. It's so great to see you all here. My name's Molly Larkin. I'm with Fourth Brain, and we are so pleased to be here with Asad Narouzi. He's a longtime Fourth Brain instructor, and he's also the algorithm team lead at LetterTech, which is a company that makes software for autonomous driving. We're excited to talk about revolutionizing marketing with Gen AI. I'm going to hand it over to Asad. Please feel free to put questions in there. Let us know where you're coming in from. Any questions along the way, please put them in the chat and we will address them as soon as we can. Great. Take it away, Asad.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you. So, hi everyone, and first of all, I would like to welcome you to our to this very short workshop on the use of generative AI in the marketing and fashion industries. And we can all agree that this technology is revolutionizing every industry that we can think of, literally every industry. But the focus today will be on marketing and fashion. I've been, since we started, we decided to do this workshop, doing a lot of research. And it's been an amazing experience for me as well. It was for me to get in touch with people, professionals in marketing and professionals in fashion, to understand what their needs are and how they are leveraging this technology. And I hope I can relay some of that experience to you guys today. So please, as Molly mentioned, please use the comments to shoot your questions. And as the first question that I would like to have for you guys, like as we are moving on, just please like very a short intro about yourself. We just want to know, what is your background? Are you from marketing background? Are you from the fashion industry, or are you a tech person interested in these industries? So we want to just get a sense of who our attendees are. And let's get it started. Let's see what the revolution is. So today we will be talking about, I'm going to give you an introduction to what this technology is. And don't worry, we are not getting into technical details. This is for, the purpose of this workshop is basically for non-tech attendees. So if you have a tech background and some of these concepts might seem simpler to you, just bear with us. But I'm going to give it a very simple way for everyone to understand what this technology is. And then we are going to be talking about how AI is used in marketing and in fashion. And then we are going to do the most interesting part. I hope it will be the most interesting part for you guys, where I'm going to ask you to suggest your prompts, something that you would like to be created in just a few seconds, and I will do it for you through the platforms that some of the platforms. We're not going to try everything, but we're going to be introducing you some of the Gen AI platforms that are used for content creation, image creation, and so on. So we get into the details of that. So hopefully we can get some input from you guys, and you guys can see what you're thinking, what AI is going, how AI is going to imagine what you're thinking, right? So hopefully that would be the interesting part for you. So I'm hoping that after this short session, you would at least get a basic understanding of what Gen AI is and what this technology provides, understanding how it is affecting the two industries that we have selected for this particular workshop, which are marketing and fashion, and then get to know some of the useful tools that are available for everyone, basically, to use. Some of them are free, some of them are subscription-based, but we will get into experiencing using them and how we can see how they can actually provide assistance to professionals in marketing and fashion, specifically for this workshop. And then hopefully we get a good engagement through our interactive session. Okay, so again, as I'm moving on, feel free to ask your questions in the comments. I'll try to have a look at them, and if I miss anything, Molly is going to tell me to address those questions. Okay, now, first things first, what is Gen AI? What is it that everybody's talking about Gen AI? Especially, it all started after mid 2023 with OpenAI's breakthrough in ChatGPT, and then followed by Stable Diffusion for image generation, and then followed by Stable Diffusion XL, Midjourney, DALL-E, and so on. So basically, generative AI we can refer to it as a set of algorithms that are able to learn from data and create new content based on the data that they learned. That new content can be similar to the data that it used during the training for learning, but it has that unique element to it as well, because it will try. If you want to understand it better, it's the same way we as human imagine things in not just in art, but in everything we do, especially those of you who try to be innovative. How are you going to bring innovation? There are a lot of discussions around this area of saying that AI is not for innovation. AI cannot be creative. Well, yes, we all know that AI has its limitations. However, though, creativity is something that we all experience and learn through our journey when we grow up. And this is the same thing with AI. AI is trained by the data that we provided, and it is able to create unique outputs, unique results out of that. And that can include creativity as well. So in short, yes, AI is able to be creative too, although still there are a lot of debates around it. But the fact is, yes, it can be creative as well. We have generative AI to generate music. We have generative AI to generate art. So these are all very good examples to prove how capable this technology is. But it is important to note that the level of creativity depends on the data that we provide it to. So that is why you have heard it that the data is the new gold, data is the new oil. That is why all companies, from small to big companies, they are hungry for data. So data is the essence here, not just for generative AI, but anything that has to do with artificial intelligence. Data is very important. So now, speaking of artificial intelligence, what is it? It is basically simulating human intelligence in machines. Um, if you if you have some tech background, you might have heard this phenomena when we say deep learning, where we train huge amount of data to create neural networks that are able to do predictions, that are able to do understanding objects, that are able to communicate with human, that are able to create art. They are all trained using the theory of neural networks that is a mimic of how our brain functions. And this is, maybe we could say, this is the only piece of science that we created as human, but we don't exactly know what is going on, which the founders actually named it as a black box, because they provide the input to the neural network, there is training, and then there is the output. Between the input and output, there is no mathematical proof to say that for this output, I'm going to get that. For this input, I'm going to get that particular output, because everything is random here. So that's why they call it a black box. And in order to understand what AI is, it is basically the AI scientists, they are trying to simulate the way our brain functions. That's exactly what we do when we train models using complicated neural networks. We haven't if we haven't gone even close to the complication of our brain neural network, but gradually we're trying to get there. So that is the objective. So what is ML and DL now? Machine learning and deep learning. First of all, we have to understand that AI is the big umbrella, and machine learning and deep learning are only a small part of that big umbrella. AI includes a lot of different domains, which of course we're not getting into now. But when it comes to Gen AI, we are using deep learning technology. The simplest difference between machine learning and deep learning is machine learning doesn't have very complicated neural networks. It doesn't need to have a huge amount of data. But deep learning, it basically, as the name implies, it goes deeper into the learning process. Therefore, it requires a more complex neural network. And of course, it does require a huge amount of data to train on. So these are the basic concepts that we have. And again, as I mentioned, neural networks, they're just basically the architectures that we use, and it is the exact architecture of our human brain. The communication between neurons, how neurons receive information from the world through our sensors. So our body, it has a number of sensors, including your eyes, your nose, touch sensor, taste, and so on. It uses all of these information. They are all gathered in your brain. Different parts of your brain are responsible for different types of learning, such as language, such as creativity, and so on. We are not getting into those a lot of details of that. But the reason I mention human as an example here, if you find any of these concepts complicated to understand and comprehend, just refer to yourself and imagine yourself how you learn things. If you are a professional in marketing or in fashion, try to imagine how you are creating your content, how you are trying to be innovative and creative. What is the process in your brain? What information do you use? So all of these are going to help you to basically grasp the concept of what AI actually does in this context. Because whatever we are implementing in AI as in general, it is a mimic of how our brain functions. So that would be your best chance of better understanding it. Because I know some of the keywords might sound a bit complicated, but honestly, they're not. Okay, now let's just focus on generative AI right now. GPT-4, that's what powers ChatGPT. It is a very, very large language model. I'm not mentioning the numbers because they don't matter right now, but all we know is that it is a very, very large language model. GPT-4 was created by the company OpenAI, and its competitor Bard is created by Google. Are they different? Yes, of course, because they have been trained a bit differently, but they are very similar. And both have the objective of being able to understand what we ask them to do. Okay, so it is very important to know that when you ask a question from GPT-4 or BARD or other similar large language models, they are not performing any search through a database. They are responding to you based on number one, understanding what your question is, and number two, going and search through their knowledge. It is very different from a Google search. A Google search has a huge database that when you search for keywords, it will try to find closest results to the keyword that you provide as a search. But language models, they are different. They are like a human that is knowledgeable in many, many different domains. And when you ask a question, it is able to provide you with an answer. For example, you can ask me a question. You can tell me what is generative AI, and I will respond back with a definition from my perspective, of course. I'm not doing any research. I'm not reading books. When you ask me the question, I use my own knowledge. That's exact same process here. So we have to really know that it is not doing search. It is important because then we have to ask the right question. So the answer is right only if you ask the right question. So these language models, they would respond based on what you're asking them. So these GPT and BART, they are basically for textual conversation and providing you back with textual content. And if you use like the paid version of ChatGPT, which is powered by GPT-4, you can even communicate through if you're using the app, you can communicate with your voice. It understands voice as well. So it first understands the voice, translates it into text, and then provide the text to GPT-4 to respond back. And then comes the images, which also revolutionized a lot of industries, including fashion, art, and so on, and even marketing as well, because I know in marketing you don't just deal with text, but you also deal with visual content as well. So Stable Diffusion and Midjourney, they are currently the most common models that are used to generate images. Um, there are open source and free to use platforms, which I will introduce them to you, but they are a bit complicated to use. However, Midjourney, which I have seen through my conversation with a lot of professionals in marketing and fashion, this is one of the very well-known and most common platforms that they are using today, is because it is providing them with a platform that is ready and kind of, not very, but kind of user-friendly for them to provide an image description and get the results back. But are there differences between a Stable Diffusion and Midjourney? Yes, because the models are different, but the differences are not as much as we say, okay, which one is better, which one is not. No, they are fairly doing a good job in generating images. So these are the very well-known ones. And then later, DALL-E as well, which DALL-E was also created by OpenAI. And one of the good powers of DALL-E is that it is integrated seamlessly into ChatGPT. And if you have the paid version, which uses GPT-4, you can use it to make conversation with the ChatGPT and get textual results back. And at the same time, you can also ask it to create images for you. They all have their own limitations. When we get to see some of the examples, I will explain to you what the limitations are and what are the parameters that we normally use with these technologies. Right. So now let's start with generative AI in marketing. There is a huge impact. This technology is revolutionizing marketing by providing automation of content creation, providing personalized customer experiences, optimizing strategies. And I have been able to, talk to some of the professionals. As I said, for this particular workshop, I wanted to hear from the professionals in the field, especially those who are using this technology. And I got a common response back that this technology is helping to increase their productivity. And it is very important because there is this misconception that this technology is replacing professionals. When we get to the examples, I will tell you that this technology can do nothing without the professionals, non-tech professionals specifically. If you're talking about marketing, we need marketing professionals. So please understand that this technology, at least not right now, not anytime soon, is not replacing anyone, but rather providing tools to increase your productivity massively, unimaginable before you try it. There are a lot of examples, but the most important ones that I can mention is the content automation, which was very, very useful, or it is very, very useful. So what is like content automation? It can write product descriptions, advertisements, blog posts, and so on. You need to provide it with some context. You need to provide it with some details that you would like to be included in the content that it is writing for you, and then you will get the result back. Something that might take you maybe half an hour or 1 hour to do, this technology can do it for you in just a matter of minutes, just a few minutes, less than 5 minutes. It is able to personalize it. You provide it with more information about your customer, and then it would be able to provide you not only the detailed content about what you want to write, but also personalize it for your specific customer or a set of customers. So these are really powerful uh, capabilities that this technology has, and it can provide it to you. And of course, it can also do detailed data analysis for you. So this is very important because um, if you are a professional in marketing and you do not have any technical background, when it comes to data analysis, you need to rely on using platforms which are mostly paid platforms. You need to purchase software licenses or you need to purchase subscriptions where you provide your data and then you will get the analysis back. And now imagine that you don't need to do that anymore. You just need to use one platform, maybe just one subscription, and then you provide your data to um, large language models such as ChatGPT that is able to perform data analysis for you, and you will get the results back. And one of the other advantages of this is that if you get the result back, you can continue the conversation with ChatGPT saying that, okay, now can you do this? Can you do that? Something that you may either not able to do with other paid subscriptions that you have, or you will be charged more when you have more requests. So these are all the advantages that this technology is bringing for you, that you can do detailed analysis on your data without the need to talk to professional data analysts or data scientists. So these are all like as it comes as a package. It's very interesting. It is like you have hired a person who is a professional in marketing that can provide you with quality content for marketing, but he's also a tech person who's able to answer your tech questions, who's able to do in-depth data analysis for you and provide you with a lot of insights that you can use for your business. I think needless to mention how much this technology is helping to grow the market. So there has been a study already done. You can see the source link at the bottom of the image. It is from market.us. And they are anticipating that by 2032, there will be 28.6% growth in the marketing industry because of generative AI. And the valuation, $22.1 billion. It's huge. So this technology, how is it helping to achieve this fast growth? As I said before, it is because it is helping to increase the productivity. Imagine that something you can do in a matter of minutes or seconds as compared to doing it in maybe half an hour, 1 hour, or even more. You can increase your product. You can do a lot more. You can be way more productive, way more innovative in the process here. So this is the reality. The market is growing really fast, and the use and the penetration of this technology into industries, including marketing, fashion, and other industries, it is inevitable. It is here, it is coming, and it is growing. So now let's be a bit more specific about one of the most powerful tools that you can use for your marketing content. ChatGPT, as I mentioned, it's a conversational AI model. It is able to understand your questions, and it is able to respond back to your question. It is able to respond within a specific context that you provide it to. So it's not just a generic model, it can also be specific if you ask it to be specific. And as I mentioned, there are a lot of use cases. What I have seen so far, this is being used in providing product description and also being used for social media content creation. So these are the two, what I have seen so far, the two major use cases that professionals are using this technology to create their content, product description and social media content. So when it comes to creating content. It's not just text, right? It's also the visual content that we are creating here. So if you're definitely in marketing, and when you have a marketing message, or if you have an ad, you will most likely not only have a text, but it will be accompanied by visual content as well. So there are some models that I mentioned, like Stable Diffusion, Midjourney, DALL-E, that are helping you to create that visual content based on the requests that you have. Which one is better? Again, we don't want to get into a competition between these different platforms. They have their own pricing, so you have to see what your budget is, and they have their own customizations, which to some extent I will mention it later today. But there are open source platforms as well, which are for now to some extent free. But if you want to get it, very detailed outcome, accurate, user-friendly platforms, then of course you have to use the paid platforms. And as I said, currently Midjourney is the most used platform for visual content creation at this point, as of today. What I have seen, especially marketing professionals, how they are using AI to generate visual content for them. I've seen them creating logos, which is very interesting. They are using it to create advertising materials, creating visuals that are appealing, creating banners, different types of images for different types of target social media, like for Instagram, TikTok, or other social media that you're posting to, even on LinkedIn. So, and depending on, one of the things is that I need to mention here is that you can ask ChatGPT to create content for you to be posted on LinkedIn, and you can also ask it to create a content for you to be posted on Twitter, on Instagram, and other social media. Specifically for different types of social medias, it will provide you with different content tailored towards that particular social media. So these are all capabilities and the strength of this technology here. Okay, enough said. Let's see an example. I know I have a lot of text on this slide, but this is what I generated using ChatGPT. It is just a very basic example. And in this example, what I want to emphasize is that I did not provide many details. I did not customize it. I did not provide too much context for ChatGPT to give me a more accurate result. So I only asked ChatGPT to provide me, from a marketing perspective, a product description for a new running tireless shoe. And the target customers for this product is, our company is targeting people that are over 65 years of age. And the text that you see here is what ChatGPT provided. Even the emojis that you see here, they are also provided by ChatGPT. So I just copy pasted everything. I didn't edit or change anything there. And then when you read through it, you can see that even doing it very, very quickly without providing too much detail, without customization, it is able to provide you with really quality content. I mean, I'm not a professional in marketing. You guys, those of you who are professionals in marketing, can judge how well this model is performing. But the more you interact with the model, the more information you provide to this model, the better results you can get back from the model. And I just did it with one try, and it gave me this, which sounds to be a good output for what I have asked it to do. For example, it starts with comfort meets convenience. Say goodbye to the hassle of laces. Our innovative no-tie design ensures a secure blah 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 product. And one of the things that really was interesting for me, if you look at the second part of it, where it starts light as a feather, at the end of this paragraph, it is talking about, it says their durable construction provides the support your feet need, whether you're out for a leisurely walk or chasing after your grandkids. And remember, we have told ChatGPT that we are targeting customers who are over 65 years of age, and this is what it provided in the product, in the marketing product description, chasing after your grandkids. And this is really uh, um, interesting to see how these models are being innovative in the responses that they are providing for us. So this is just one example, and we did it very quickly. So when we are doing the activity, I would like to see your suggestions, your prompts, what you want ChatGPT to create, and I will do it live for you, and then we will see how it is responding to your prompt. So I'm hoping that you guys come up with something that you would like ChatGPT to create for you, and then we can see it live how it is performing. And talking about visual content, after the previous prompt, I told ChatGPT that, hey, thank you for providing the text. You can also thank ChatGPT. And now I would like to have a visual ad or visual content related to this product. And this is what it provided me with. If you look at it, you can see it has a lot of issues. Number one, which is very visible, is the incorrect text on this visual content. But again, these can be resolved when you provide more information to ChatGPT, when you provide more of the textual contents that you would like to be included or excluded in the visual content. But looking at it as a whole, like if we ignore the text, look at the way, and by the way, ChatGPT uses DALL-E. This is its visual content model. Look how DALL-E is placing the product in the middle, almost in the middle of the screen. Look at the background, the lights, the shadows, and how basically it is promoting the product for that particular product description. And again, this is just one try. This was my first try with it, and I didn't provide again too many details or too much context to it. And at least from my perspective, it is doing a good job as a beginner. So you can see there are a lot of benefits to it, and you can even say, now I want an image that includes this or that. Those of you who are marketing professionals, you are the ones who know the keywords. And this is where I would like to mention that in the previous few slides, I did mention that this technology, let's say be specific, this technology for the marketing industry is nothing without the marketing professionals, because the marketing professionals, they know the keywords to be used. They know and they can judge whether, like this, the first try, how good or how bad it is and what should be changed. So they are the ones that are providing information and details for ChatGPT in order to provide more and more quality content. So this technology, at least not today, and in my personal opinion, I've been I've been doing this technology for many, many years. There is We are not gonna get to a point where we can say, like, at least like this model can replace these professionals entirely anytime soon. No, there is just a misconception that now AI is capable of doing anything it wants and it can replace everyone. No, that's really not true. You need the professionals to oversee the performance of these models, of these generative models, and you need the professionals to provide the input. But look at it as a tool, but a very good tool that is able to increase productivity and eventually increase revenues for whether large companies or small businesses. This is the, in my opinion, this is the strength and this is the good that you can get out of this Gen AI technology. And speaking of tweet that I mentioned, I also asked, after creating that visual content, I told ChatGPT that, hey, could you draft a tweet post for me for this product. And you can see that it drafted a tweet for me. One of the things about this is that I don't have an example for LinkedIn here today, but if I ask ChatGPT to draft a LinkedIn post, it would be a lengthy post. But for Twitter, it knows that there is a limit. So it tries to squeeze the information into a brief, short tweet that you can use to post on your Twitter account. And the hashtags, the emojis, everything is provided by ChatGPT on the first try. No details were provided. I never asked to provide me with hashtags or anything. Usually, the hashtags that these models are providing, they may not be as accurate if you don't give them the context. So you might find some of the hashtags really good, and you might find some of them not so good. So you have to, you have to get the results, see the result, and then decide your own whether you would like to edit it, change anything, add anything, or you may provide more context to ChatGPT to provide you with another tweet. And it generated this tweet in just a matter of seconds, even less than 1 second to be exact. So these are just some examples that I wanted to provide to you guys and to see how this technology is performing for this specific industry. Okay, now marketing. Of course, there's a lot more to say, but we don't have that much time. So let's get into Gen AI in fashion. There are a lot of things that are similar to what we have said when we're talking about the marketing industry. Of course, this technology is also revolutionizing the fashion industry. And what I have found so far is that the three main parts that Gen AI is currently helping the fashion industry is as a design assistant who's able to provide designers with potential trending fashion designs. It is also able to predict trends. Let's say, what would be the trend in the second half of 2024? What would be the trend in 2025? It is able to analyze the market, and it is able to provide the fashion designers with potential trends to come in the future. And another interesting part of it, which is very, very visual, that is to create digital models. So it is able to create high quality, detailed photo shoots of digital models. I will provide you with some examples that I got from a YouTube channel. And the details are really, really amazing. Even for someone like me, who's a very, very tech person, who knows this technology, who works with this technology on a daily basis, I was really amazed by how detailed and how good it is able to create these digital models. We will get to those examples. So just similar to the marketing industry, the fashion market is also growing rapidly fast in with the perspective of Gen AI, and they have predicted a 36.9% growth, and it's a huge amount of market value by 2032. So, and it's not just for marketing and fashion. It is the same for a lot of other industries where Gen AI is able to provide assistance and help to increase productivities for small businesses as well as large businesses. So, what are the benefits? I think this was a quite, to me, controversial topic for me, where you have AI to generate human, which we call them digital models or virtual models. It is controversial in the sense that it's basically creating fake versions of human, right? But it was very interesting after speaking to a number of fashion professionals. And I tried to speak with those who were using this technology and those who were not. And I got some common results back, which I have summarized it here. It is cost effective and it creates a freedom for their creativity where they can imagine their models to be at, uh, very creative places, backgrounds. They are just able to use Gen AI to create that imaginary environment and also the imaginary model for them. So these are benefits that I concluded by speaking with professionals in this industry. And again, I also spoke with those who are not yet using it. So I just wanted to get both perspectives. So even those who are not using it, I found that they have seen examples of it being used, but they are still skeptical in using it, or they think it is too complicated for their business to start using it, uh, which is just because they don't have enough information on the tools that are available that makes it easy for them to use this technology, use their professional knowledge with this technology and create unimaginable content. Um, as an example, I just asked ChatGPT to provide me with what do you think are going to be the trends in 2024, or they are already started, and what's going to be the trend? And it just gave me this output that you can see here. For example, sky blue, contrasting outfits, Barbie and millennial pink. I'm not saying this is true. I am no expert in this area to judge how well it has performed, but from what I have seen and from what I have shown these to some of the professionals, they said it's not too bad actually. And again, this is without any details provided to ChatGPT. This is without any customization or any detailed context provided. Just very simple question. Hey, ChatGPT, what is the fashion trend for 2024? And it provides me with all these bunch of different uh, things related to what it thinks or what it has, analyzed data so far. Because it also does provide, you can see in the first example, where it mentions the sky blue, it says designers like Alberta Ferretti and Versace have showcased this color prominently in their collection. So it is also using uh, its knowledge of searching the internet and so on, but it also adds its own perspective to it as well. So this was just an example of how you can use as fashion professionals, how we can use this Gen AI technology to do the research for you in just less than a second. So um, this actually provided with this text with me in just less than a second from me. And speaking of visual content, when it comes to fashion, of course, most of the things is about visual content. So during my research, I was able to find this YouTube channel that I'm sourcing their channel here, just to be fair. I did contact them and ask them if they can, because if I wanted to get a snapshots of their video, it would be low quality. So I did approach and ask them, are you guys okay with providing your original, or at least, maybe not that high quality, 4K quality, but at least some quality that I can use in a presentation? They gave me the permission, and they sent me 3 images, which I will show you. And just to be fair, I'm sourcing their channel here as well. So you can see here the 3 examples that I'm showing you here that, of course, they provided. It shows not only the detail of the virtual model here. If you look at like the face, the body, even the clothes, the hair and everything, it has lots of details to it. But what really amazed me was not the model, but the background. You can see how detailed. Look at the fireplace, look at the wall, look at the windows and the winter outside, the lights. It's really amazing. And of course, I did ask them, can you provide me with your prompt as well? They said no. They didn't provide me with the exact prompt, but they did say that they provided their model, but at least they told me they used a stable diffusion. They said that they provided their model with all the details about the fashion model as well as the environment that they imagined the photo shoot was happening. So all these details were provided for their model, and this was the output. And this is the next one. You can see, like, again, the background, the room really amazed me. Details of the sofa, of the chair, of the table lamp, the fireplace. It's really nice, and you look at the window. It's like the nighttime, and you can see that light, the vibe, the lighting is very detailed. And um, this was created. They told me for every image, it took their model to create these images to be created around 3.5 to 4 seconds for each of these images. But also they mentioned we cannot like use this number as generic number of how long it takes for an image to be generated, because it depends on the size, it depends on the resources that you're using. So this is not a common metric to say that every image can be created in 3 or 4 seconds. It could be less, it could be longer, depending on the quality. And we're going to try today. I have set up a personal pipeline. I do have my own personal pipeline. So we can try out your prompts and to see whether we can create really high quality virtual models in a good environment for suitable for a fashion photo shoot. And this is also another example. So they're able to create these virtual models from different ethnic backgrounds, different races, with different settings, different rooms, different types of clothing. And this was really amazing. I'm very happy that they provided me with these images. It is very, very interesting how this technology is revolutionizing this industry in order to help the professionals in the industry to increase their productivity. Okay, so now let's jump into our activity. And for the first part of this activity, I would like to first maybe start with marketing. You can just put it in the comments, um, and then we will see what prompts you would like to have, and I will use ChatGPT Live to do it for you. But before, let me just quickly check if there are any specific questions. Creating marketing. Oh, okay. You're already providing me with some prompts. Sure, let's try that. Um, oh, okay. Let me respond to Richard's question. Richard has an interesting question saying, I thought LLM have trouble with reasoning, so how can it do data analysis well? No, it doesn't have trouble with reasoning. It may have a bit of hard time in understanding human human speech, which again, with like GPT-4, which is the most powerful model, it has been able to resolve that to a great extent. But the problem is still with human senses, being sensitive, emotions, and things like that. But when it comes to data analysis, it has very, very accurate and perfect understanding of data. Uh, and I wouldn't say there is any problem in reasoning what the data is and how the data is that you're providing it with. But again, what you're mentioning, Richard, is with regards to understanding our questions, our emotions, and so on, which the newest models like GPT-4 and the advanced or BART Pro, they have resolved this to a great extent. So CJ Johansson is asking, when creating visual content, is there a prompt that can help you create a consistent representation? For example, a persona with a specific appearance or an article of clothing? Yes, there are a lot of ways. Um, Not only you can have a consistent model in terms of facial features, you could have very consistent. You can have a photo shoot of literally the same person with different poses, different clothing, and so on, but the face will remain the same, or the body remains the same. you can do that. There are a lot of ways. You're not, we don't have time to get into exact details, but yes, there are a lot of ways, like control net, um, uh, face swap. There are a lot of different things that you can do in order to have a consistent or same model for an entire photo shoot. Okay, so let's get into the examples right now. I am going to, okay, let me do this. Okay, so now I'm going to share a new tab. So you should now see my ChatGPT tab. And I see a prompt here. I'm just going to copy that. So it says create marketing for a toothpaste for people with sensitive teeth and gums. Assume that this is the fourth most popular brand and trying to become number 3 and someday number 1. Okay, sure. I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to copy. You can see that I'm not changing anything. I'm just copy pasting this prompt, and let's see what ChatGPT is going to say. So it says creating an effective marketing campaign for a toothpaste brand targeting people with sensitive blah, blah, blah involves several key components given that the brand, blah, 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 blah. So now it is telling you the result. So you can judge how good or how bad it is performing. So it has the brand message. It is providing you with suggestions on your advertising campaign, digital marketing, promotion, even promotional offers. So this is amazing. I didn't expect it to provide this educational content. Wow, very interesting. I'm really interested now if there are any marketing professionals here to provide us with your professional opinion about how ChatGPT actually provided a response to, I don't know, there's a username, I don't know the name, whoever posted this prompt. So it provided you with 10 steps on actually responding to them. Now, someone with the name Infotech News Networks, I would like to know top 10 Gen AI use cases in manufacturing industries. In manufacturing, there is one for creation of digital twins, which I have seen they're using Gen AI to create digital twins. I have seen that they are using Gen AI for their simulation environment. These are the two main areas that I have seen recently that is being used in manufacturing. There is one which I don't know how related it could be to manufacturing, but I know there is a company, I'm not going to name it, but they are using for whatever product, they have a product that they are manufacturing, and they are using Gen AI to provide them with variations of that product for future changes. And it's very interesting. And but again, because I don't have permission from that company, I cannot say anything here. What would ChatGPT answer? Oh yeah, sure. Wow, Antonio, thank you for the suggestion. Let's do that. So I'm going to copy that question, and I'm gonna open up a new ChatGPT because if I ask the question about manufacturing here, it will be in a different context, so it might confuse it. All right, so I'm going to open up a new one, and I'm going to pose this question. I would like to know top 10 Gen AI use cases in manufacturing industries, and you can see whatever it can provide. AI specific, okay. Yeah, so predictive maintenance, yeah, of course, yeah, quality control. Okay, so there you go. These are the things that ChatGPT is providing you. And just remember, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is able to provide you with, exact or accurate, 100% accurate and exact answer. You as a professional need to, observe the response from ChatGPT and in your judgment, decide whether you're going to use the exact response or you want to modify it. And now, guys, I also have a platform that I can share with you guys, and generating images. If in case anyone here, especially from fashion industry, that can provide us with a sample prompt that you would like to try generating a model or an environment, feel free to post it in the chat. In the meantime, I'm gonna scroll up to see if there are any other interesting questions that I must respond. Okay, I see there are people mentioning that they're from the marketing industry. Okay, perfect. All right, so anyone would like to provide any kind of prompt for a virtual digital model? We still have 5 minutes to go, and we are going to, as we have this live activity, but we can also use this time to post your questions. I'm looking at the questions right now, so anything comes in, I will answer until time is up. So Molly, you can stop us whenever you want, or we can just go on, depending on how many questions you guys might have. So Jenny, no, Antonio, no. Okay. I cannot do that. No. But yes, we can generate model as a computer programmer. This can be done. All right. No more questions, Molly, are coming in, so feel free to take it over.
Yeah, we do have a couple more minutes, so if you do have any other questions or suggestions.
Yeah, sure.
I have a question, Assad.
Yeah, sure.
Given this very detailed marketing campaign here, how would you, further refine it? Or if you say, maybe you're looking at it and you don't like one piece of it, like, how do you go about kind of continuing the conversation with ChatGPT?
Okay, so for this last one that it mentioned, right? Okay, so first of all, for this one, you need to see what is it that you did not see and you would like to see. So you need to inform it. And or you can also give it a role. For example, this is very common in with all language models. You can say you are a professional marketing expert, right? Marketing expert. So now you're giving it a role. So now ChatGPT is going to respond back to you based on the role that you're giving. And then, so now, then blah, 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 do whatever you want to ask. So then it will give you the response based on a like marketing expert.
Yeah, that's a really good tip, is kind of further refine it.
Antonio is asked, okay,
Yeah.
yes. So Bernard saying, how do we use these models to create digital twins for personalization? Which models? If you're talking about the visual models, basically you can usually, if they have to be digital twins, what we have image to image. Let me maybe, because this is also related to another question, to show you the pipeline. Let me just share my other tab here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so let me now share this tab. Okay, so this is the tab that you can use Stable Diffusion. I have a GPU server, so I've connected it to my GPU server. I can do any prompt here and do customizations. This is very difficult for someone who is not from a tech background. Therefore, a lot of non-tech people are preferring to use Midjourney platform instead, because it provides them with an easy-to-use platform as compared to this that you can see here. But to answer Bernard's question, there is this part here. It says image to image. So in the image to image here, you provide whatever product or whatever it is that you would like to make a twin of. You provide it here, and then you explain how your model should use that in order to provide something that is similar to it, but with a variation that you're providing as a prompt. So I hope this was your question. I'm not sure if I understood your question well. Antonio says, I would like to see the image generation pipeline, which, yes, this is the pipeline. So simple image generation can be done with prompting. However, real use cases need a structured docs with text, image, blah, blah, blah. Well, yes, exactly. So that, as I said, like if I show you here, like here is the prompt, just the prompt, it's very simple. But if we go down here, we have something which we call control net. And this is where you provide more context in terms of the pose, the posture, the in terms of the environment and so on, to give it more context as what you're saying there. But again, everything will be related to the prompt. So the prompt here, you provide all the details here, and the model is going to create that. Another thing to note here is that you can refine the models to your own use cases, but of course you need some tech background to be able to do that. But it is a possibility in this technology where you take a base model that has been trained over millions of images, and then you're going to fine tune it with your own set of images. Let's say it doesn't have to be that much, maybe 1,000, 2,000, even less. And then you have a model that is customized to your own needs. And this is very powerful. And I have seen that some larger firms in fashion, they're actually hiring deep learning professionals to do this job for them in order to customize the models. So generate a photo shoot of a powerful professional woman. Okay, sure, let's do this. I'm gonna copy this exact, and okay, let's go back here. Let me just check, because this is an open source model, so it can create even nudity. I don't want that to happen here. So let me just make sure the prompt is okay. And in the negative prompt, I'm gonna put NSFW. Sorry, NSFW, which stands for not suitable for work. And I'm going to put nudity as well. So this is going to, guide the model not to generate anything with that regard. I'm going to use this as the step. I'm not going to make too many different changes. I'm going to make it very simple. Let's make it low quality, small size, so you can generate it fast. All right, let's just generate it now. So now it's working. Let's see what it will generate. And in the meantime, LO is asking, I'd like to see whether there is a voice AI tool to customize tones of the voices based on the, yes, there are. There are tools that you can provide a text and it will read it out for you. There are the ones that you can provide a voice as input and then change it in a way that you want and customize it in the way that you want. So yes, that is possible. I'm just going to check if my server is running, because this should not take that much time. Very quickly, I'm going to check it for you. Okay, let me just okay, hold on. I need to make a few changes here.
I'm excited to see what it comes up with.
Yes, hold on. I think it got disconnected. That's why. All right. All right, I'm just going to copy this, not to lose it. And then I'm going to refresh it just to make sure it's there. I need to regenerate that.
Great. Well, while Assad is doing that, please put in any final questions that you might have for Assad. I'd also like to mention that for those of you who do have a technical background, do know how to code, we have a workshop coming up on Friday focused on fine-tuning LLMs. A one-day workshop, all day, 6 hours, where you really get hands-on with a couple of our instructors, really focusing again on fine-tuning LLMs. You'll use open source LLMs, etc. I'm going to put the link down here in the chat, so check it out if you're interested. We also have other longer form workshops aimed at the technical community, so aimed at engineers, data scientists, machine learning engineers. But if you enjoyed this sort of more, consumer side of Gen AI, please let us know, and we would like to do more of these as well.
Okay, it's
All
coming.
right, let's see if this is working
Let's
out. Go
see if
for
this
it.
is going to work this time. All right, change it to that. All right, it's working. So, and there you are. Okay, so let me just, yeah, this is what it created. And remember that, first of all, your prompt doesn't have enough, detail. So you can see like the hands are not good. The face can be improved. So there are a lot of things that can be done. And I just used very like low quality. And if I think we're going over time, so I don't want to do it, but we could actually start editing this one and creating a much higher quality that you wanted it to be. So yeah, there you go.
Great. Yes, definitely needs a few improvements there, but a great start. So this was really helpful. Assad, thank you so much
Sure.
for walking us through all of this. This was great. Everyone out there, we'll be sending out a follow up. We'll include some links to some of the things that Assad was talking about. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we will be, we have events fairly often, so definitely keep an eye on your emails from us. And we hope to see you all soon. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah. Take care. Cheers.